worry. Like, one of these days, we'll get something. We should have just bought a phone and time.
And I almost did, but couldn't find one again.
Here we are. We're live and ready. That's it.
We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, folks. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cochran.
Present.
Commissioner Story. Commissioner Garavaglia. Commissioner Case. Mayor Massersohn.
Present. Reading approval of minutes. Mr. Case.
You have two sets of minutes. The first is the regular minutes, or the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting on June 23rd. I make a motion to approve those as presented.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garavaglia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Massersohn.
Yes.
And then the other item you have in your packet is the minutes from the special meeting to approve resolution 2509, which was I think that's the final pay from MFT for the Los Angeles Street project. That was the only action item for those who missed the meeting. That was the only thing we had no discussion. We approved the resolution to adjourn. So I make a motion to approve those minutes as presented.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story. Commissioner Garavaglia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Massersohn.
Yes. Tonight we're going to start with item 9D, and actually I love that I received this letter in the mail today. It is from a Casey and a Lucas Conacher. Lucas is 7 years old, and he writes about inquiring about recycling in Benton. He believes very strongly in recycling. Would love to see Benton offer some recycling. Would love to know what he can do for recycling. Goes around and cleans up town for recycling. And ironically, we asked Andy Lamont to come this evening with Do Your Part Recycling.
Oh.
And we have been supporting Do Your Part for the last few years. We are going to continue to do so, but we've asked him to come this evening. And if you would, take 3 to 5 minutes and kind of share what your last years looked like and what's been going on and what you've been checking.
Yeah, perfect timing on that letter. Hello guys, my name's Andy. Some of you may know me. My family runs Benton Save-A-Lot, and the town has been super helpful in helping us continue the recycling effort that we're doing here in town. Not just for Benton, but the following communities. Without the town's help, we couldn't survive, but we are doing some things on our own. We had a pickup today that parking lot looked like before we started today. And then again, when we finished, we got everything completely cleaned up and sent off to the next facility to continue the recycling process. So we're only the first stop of many, but you got to start somewhere, and it starts with us, right behind the stories come out. Feel free to reach out. We're happy to talk to the youth, and that letter is just super inspiring, knowing that there's other younger generations out there looking for something to do, and luckily he's got a mayor that cares and a town that cares, and we have a place that he can actually recycle. We hope to continue doing what we're doing for years to come, and without the city's help and the public's help through donations daily, we couldn't survive, but we do, and it's a community effort.
Andy, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you started in 2019, or wait.
Before that was our first pickup.
Right. It was, there were 2 trucks a year at $600 a
Yeah.
truck. Is that was the cost? How many truckloads today and at what cost?
Yeah, it's done a little differently today. When we originally started, we were dealing with a company in Quincy, Illinois, and they're 4 hours away. Now we sell our material closer to Carbondale. Carbondale's been bought out by a larger facility, so they're able to do more than they used to. So the logistics on shipping costs is different than it used to be. So it's not just as cut and dry as it used to be. We do save on shipping costs, but our other expenses are also more now that we take in more material. There's just more labor to do now than there was 4 years ago.
And is there a future for glass to be?
We're hoping so. The glass, we got away from glass because of budget reasons. It was eating away at most of the budget. There's hardly a return on it. And we didn't want to sink the whole system because of one item. So we put a pause on glass, and we're still pausing on glass, but we've got our eyes set. If things change, the market's good, and with Carbondale being purchased by a larger facility, things are continuously changing through them, and they're hoping to upgrade, so it's always on the horizon, and hopefully we can start accepting it, but as of right now, it's still not a best bet for us.
Thank you for keeping such a pristine facility there.
Yeah.
It never is dirty, it's never has an odor, I'm just amazed at.
We take pride in that, and that is Save-A-Lot's employee parking, and we try to take care of that space and keep it clean for our neighbors, because we're not the only ones there. And we've seen other recycle facilities that sometimes don't take as good a care, and it's just not the look that we're wanting to put out for our business and this community, so.
So I've got two questions.
Yeah.
One, I've had citizens ask about a possible, like TV, PC, computer pickups. I know it's not something we normally handle. Is that something that potentially could be done in the future, or is that
It's
just out of
something
scope?
potentially we could be done in the future. We accept electronics on a small basis from the public. Some of those were actually included on the truck today, and you can see in the sheets I'm gonna leave you guys, it's kind of a detailed breakdown of what goes where. As for the electronics, you'll notice there's a minus sign, so they actually make us pay when we send those back. So to be able to accept those from the public, we usually ask for a small donation. If it's a large TV, $5, we'll handle that. And so that's something we could do in the future, maybe work with this company, set up a electronics recycling day. So there are options.
That was the specific question, could there potentially be an electronics recycle? That was their words.
Yeah, that's definitely something we could look into, talk about, and figure out. And it's something that potentially could be done at a low or no cost. I'll just have to look into it, yeah.
Okay. Second question is kind of looking ahead to the next year. What are some things you're kind of envisioning? What's the growth potential? What do you see the next year look like?
We are continuing to grow, and speaking of that, glad you brought it up. We were able to purchase our third baler, and all these balers we've bought have been purchased from donations from the public. We purchased the third one. It is not hooked up, but that is the next thing in line. It's just been a little busy this time of year, so it's going to be getting installed. We're expanding all the time due to new people recycling. You can tell when somebody's new, they're looking, trying to learn. The next thing for us is just space to grow into. We're not wanting to move, but just how we can use the space and facilitate more materials as we continue to grow, because it doesn't seem to be slowing down. And guys, I appreciate you hearing me out, and just want to say thank you. You guys have been behind me full force the entire way, and without your support and the community's support, we would have been dead in the water years ago. So thank you guys.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Andy, a question from my end. What other municipalities donate to do your part?
Good question. The major donations come from the city of Benton and the township of Benton. The township has matched the city's donation, I think, for the past 2 years. This year hasn't been talked about yet. Hopefully we can continue forward, and hopefully they'll match just like they've done the past 2 years. And we need it. It is such a sigh of relief when we get that, because it just kind of takes the pace off of we got to do this. We need more aluminum cans. We need that $500. But we're lucky to have workers through the township as well. They have an earn fare program which provides.
That is good.
Oh, that is labor that is free to me. Comes with their own labor's comp insurance, so I don't have to worry about that. I keep track of their hours and turn it in. They get paid, I get work, and it's great. But they have to be watched by somebody, and that guy needs to be paid by me. So I'm not all free and clear of labor costs, but with that program, it is a huge benefit.
Going back, just real quick, guys, and I think I've done this the last 2 years when we've had this discussion. When the city had its recycling bin, that just became a dumpster repeatedly, and the program was terminated. What were we paying for those recycling bins? I feel like they were
We
pretty.
were paying almost a month what we have been paying annually.
Yeah, it was a monthly, I think it was like $1,400 to get picked up twice a week. You were getting picked up a lot. I have those in my notes. I could scroll back, not probably right now, but
Which
I
I'm
can.
sure, I'm sure that price has changed exponentially
Yeah.
since that program was terminated by the city. I bet it would be probably double
Yeah.
to renew that program.
Contract
And-
negotiation.
Honestly, the city did terminate it. The Republic did not want to continue with this. I
either, because the people that were putting stuff in it were using it as a dumpster and
Yes.
not.
It's abused,
as-
yes.
Absolutely.
So
It wasn't receiving the supervision.
if you don't know, if you put your garbage in with the recycling is now garbage.
Mhm.
It cannot be used, so,
They could put in toilets
Yeah.
and mattresses
Yeah.
and.
Anything they can fit in there.
Anything they can fit as a city dump.
Luckily, Bid and Save a Lot, is the location, and that's my full-time work, so I'm there every day but one or maybe two, and it's constant supervised. So without the store and you guys in community, it wouldn't be ran like it's ran, and it's just a perfect machine right now, the way it's working, so.
So, council, within the budget in city services, under 4640 in city services, we have, and this is our entire trash and recycling budget. So like what we pay Republic monthly for our residential pickup and all of that is included in that. We have $450,000 in there. Now, I don't have the numbers for Republic in me, that's my apologies for not being prepared on that regard tonight. But we have a line item in there. What do you guys think of doubling our donation from what have been $2,400 the last 3 years to $4,800? We are still substantially less than what we were paying monthly when we had Republic doing it.
Absolutely.
This could be a potential, I mean, again, it's not just people from the city of Benton that use Do Your Part. People from all over the place take their recyclables to Do Your Part.
And
People
it's
from
not
West
just,
City.
yeah, not even municipal city limits, we have people that are in township and in county that have the advantage, take advantage of it.
And I'm certain that people from surrounding communities come to use the facility as well, like from West Frankfort or Cessna or Christopher. So I feel comfortable with that amount. I kind of would like to issue a challenge to Franklin County and the village of West City being in very close proximity to, they don't have to match us. I don't think it needs to be a contest, but to recognize the service that is done and to help us support that endeavor. But I would like to make a motion to give $4,800 to Do Your Part Recycling, as our contribution for this coming year.
It's even bigger number than I
Dude,
told you.
yeah. So, yeah.
It's bigger,
I like it.
I really wanted to raise it coming in from 24 to 36, but given, I think everybody's second.
I was gonna say, we got seconds, we got thirds, we got fourths.
Guys, and I've got paperwork showing just how much return I've got, and you can see, and, yeah, and I can show, you can see where the money goes.
I think they're bought in.
Let's take a vote.
Commissioner Cochran. Commissioner Story. Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome,
Thank you.
That's
Thanks
awesome.
for all you do.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a huge community service. It really is, and it's still saving us money compared to what we were paying Republic. I think that's a win, and the fire department doesn't have to deal with that.
Or Public Works having to clean it up when he goes south, or any other stuff for that
Andy,
matter.
thank you.
Yeah, you guys,
Thank you,
thank you
sir.
for hearing me out, thank you for letting me come in, and, yeah, we're.
I'll get with you on stickers, I'd like to write a personal note back, and maybe I can hook up with you when.
Definitely, yeah, boy wants to meet and come see it, and we'll let him, yeah, check it out, whatever, we'll
Yeah,
talk.
I'll make sure you guys get connected somehow.
Yeah,
We'll do
awesome.
that.
Guys, thank you so much, I guess I'm gonna get back to work now, so.
You're ready to
Thank you so
go.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate it. Public
Sorry,
property
guys,
report.
thank you.
Mrs. Garavilla.
Okay, I have no purchase orders. The discussion and approval of having Twin Oaks Power Wash, I have, and that ran under the threshold of having to put out for public bids. But I did, call several places and got bids on it, and, the bid that I would like for us to go with is with Baker's Pressure Washing, and they came in midways, lower than midways of what some of the other bids were. But they come with good recommendations, and they are insured, and the price for that is to pressure wash the building is $600, to do the roof is $150, and then also to do the concrete, to clean it up is $100. And that, he said it would look pristine. And so that comes to a total amount of $850, and I'd like to make a motion to have Baker Pressure Washing.
Should we deep pressure washing the roof
It's a soft, it will be a soft wash. They know, he knows how to do
Okay.
the metal roof.
We've got problems with the roof anyway.
If he's insured and he breaks it.
We don't want to
Yes.
do
Sounds
that.
like an insurance claim.
Sounds like a roof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
It's a-
want that.
It's a soft wash with some chemicals that
I'll
will help.
second that.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia. Yes. Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Massersohn.
Yes.
And the next item is to move forward with the Capitol Park bathroom remodel and putting in a potting shed in that. And this is something that our, utility department will take care of. And I asked Craig how soon they would be able to move on that, because they are so busy right now, but he said, you give us the money, we'll get it done, because, he said it really would not take that much time. And the amount of money we're talking about is, getting a shed, just like the one that we have at Malkovich Park, that would be $1,552, and then around $2,000 for materials to, do any repairs to the bathroom, to put in a heater in that bathroom, to insulate it, and that would be around $2,000. So we're looking at $3,552, maybe up it to,
Does that include a fresh coat of paint on like the doors and the soffit?
he didn't mention the paint, but I was gonna suggest that we just move that up to, $4,000 worth of,
We're gonna do the work ourselves in-house.
yes. To approve up to $4,000.
Some of the challenge in there is the plumbing that's in there. Every winter they have to winterize it, and if we de-winterize it too early and it freezes, it almost seems like every year Public Works is having to go in and fix it. So part of it is, let's make it where you don't have to do that anymore, but then also the garden club that's over there doesn't have a place to store their supplies except for the chase, where all the shut off and all that is in there, so then it's got a conflict of usage.
Yeah.
So by getting him a dedicated, we bought a potting shed for the garden club at Malkovich Park, like this group should have their own as well. So I love that you're trying to figure out how to do that, so.
So, I make a motion that we approve up to $4,000 for both of
Cause
those.
we allotted 10 for that
We did.
project, and I think we
It's in the
spent,
capital.
yeah, I was gonna say, it should be in there.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
second that
absolutely in there.
Yeah, and it was in, we actually put it in there for last year, didn't get to it, so we carried it over to this year, I think.
Go ahead.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story. Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Massersohn.
Yes,
The one thing is, if the capital park improvements only cost $4,000 as opposed to the budget of 10,
Hey, well, we're,
it's a project under budget, again, projects under budget make me excited, so like.
I might be under the road. And that's all I have.
okay, great, thank you. Streets improvements, Mr. Cochran?
I have, two purchase orders tonight. One for, we need a new, saw, Craig told me better, busted, $2,250 out here on H&R Active Power. So I make a motion to approve that.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Massersohn.
Yes.
Also have another one for, 52-inch brown plastic edging border for the street department, $658.98. I can make a motion to approve that.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story. Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Massersohn.
Yes.
Okay. I have several pool adjustments tonight. I'll read them off, each one of them. We have one for, sewer adjustments to swimming pools. Sheila Taylor, 608, Metro Street. Rebecca Mayberry, 311 West Church. Vince Kelly at 660 Madison Street. Teresa Bayless at 311 North Brown Street. Dorothy Boyce at 411 South Brown Street. Michelle Whiskey, 607 Collection Street. And Elizabeth Carney at 423 West 4th Street. Hang on, got one more. And Tanya Field at 1216 East Bruce Street. I make a motion we Oh, I'm sorry.
So all except.
All except, I'm sorry.
608 Manatee.
All except Sheila Taylor, I'm sorry. Yes.
Commissioner Cochran. Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case. Mayor Masser.
Yes.
Okay, we have a lake lot lease transfer. I can't read this already.
Richard Dare.
To Jacob Arnell and Abby Arnell. Make a motion to approve that.
I second
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia.
it. Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Masser.
Yes.
Next on the agenda, we have pay estimate number 2 for our water project that Jeff Reeves is doing down by the high school area. $270,740.89. Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Masser.
Yes.
We also bid off our NFT overlays. Our rock bid come in. The low bid was ET Science, $222,094.20. No, wait, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. That's for the asphalt. I'm sorry. That's for the asphalt, and I'll comment on that one if it's approved. $222,094.20 from ET Simons for our overlay. Make a motion to approve that.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Masser.
Yes.
And we also have our line item asphalt for oil and chipping. Approve that, it's $170,796.14. Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia.
Yes.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Masser.
Yes.
The oil and chip, I believe, is gonna be done next week. We are trying diligently to try to get our overlay done before school starts, before the middle school starts. As you probably know, we tore up McLeansboro about a year ago. The school started because we had a surplus. We are trying to get a hold of them and trying to speed that up. They told us actually the 11th, which is the day school starts. But we've made some phone calls and we're really trying to get them in there. They're gonna be there 2 days, not like, we might have to work for a week like Sir was or more. But we are trying to get the overlays done on McLeansboro before school starts, so. That's all I got.
Excuse me.
Should there be a motion?
We should have a rock there too.
He did.
He didn't have.
You did rock it? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I thought it did.
Okay, good.
Public health, are you able to go?
I think so.
Okay, public health and safety.
I've got a purchase order from the police department. 1,000 rounds TAP Urban 223 duty ammo, $972. 1,000 FMJs 223 practice rounds, $445. 1,000 rounds of FMJ range ammo, $235. 1,000 rounds 40 cal FMJ range ammo 320. 1,000 rounds 45 caliber FMJ range ammo. FMJ means full metal jacket. So it comes to $2,362. I make a motion to accept that.
Second.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia. Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Mayor Masser.
Yes.
The next one, we need to get on the ball, get our policemen hired. We've got, the pool eligibility list now, y'all should have it. Motion to move forward on that.
Second.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Commissioner Story.
Yes.
Commissioner
just real quick, I wanted to give a couple of updates before we get into, the meat and potatoes of this. I think the entire council knows, most of you out there know, last night, when I got home, we did a nearly 2-hour question and answer open forum on Facebook Live. I know not everybody has Facebook, but I thought it was well received. The vast majority of it was talking about the proposed home rule sales tax that we will be discussing and voting on shortly. We did also talk about some other things. We still have to remind people that we don't own a courthouse. If we owned a courthouse, we wouldn't be worrying about what was going on at 1403 South Main, and we wouldn't be in the basement of the county's property. Nothing against our digs,
Which they
we just
they
need a
like
much
us down
larger
here,
building.
don't you?
We don't have that building. Sometimes we have to go into depth about that. But it was a fantastic forum. I hope it's something that I would like to do again. I thought it was really informative. Because, I mean, we've had the discussion when we talked about it, when this council was seated in 2023. I'm personally not a fan of 5 PM meetings, but I understand why they are. But being able to engage with our public more is important. And although we do engage with our public it's not like we're in Washington and we have a detail and we don't have to deal with people and shy away from them. We run into these people that we serve everywhere we go, and we get asked questions. And sometimes it's nice just to have a forum for those that isn't just a council meeting that they can't make it to. So I hope we continue to do that. But that's just a quick update from me. Also, we just approved the second pay estimate for WIGS on this East Main project. We received the check from the state a couple of weeks ago. So we don't have to bridge fund like we did with Delta, where we had to pay it all up front out of pocket, take a loan for that money, and pay some interest, which we were very thankful that we had a bank in town that helped us with that. But the state actually funded it up front, which is just fantastic. So I just kind of wanted to get that out there.
Very rare.
Yes, very much so.
Pay in advance, yeah.
So that was very thankful. That way we can get our contractor paid and he can do business with us. So with that being said, item 7A, payroll, dated for July 3rd, totaling $104,212.42. That includes $79,914.93 out of the general fund and $14,648.64 out of the water and sewer fund. I make a motion to approve that as presented.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Mayor Masser?
Yes.
I think Brooke really thought that I was just gonna lose my mind when I found out what the bill total was. Our bill total on our AP run for the previous month totals $1,092,403.66. A large chunk of that is the first 2 pay estimates to Wiggs Excavating for the project that we are currently working on. So we don't, this is very, it's still a higher bill total than normal, but it's not 4 times the normal amount. Those 2 pay estimates and getting our contractor are in there. So that total bill amount with $1,072,399.22 out of the AP fund, $16,284.84 out of MFT, and $3,719.60 out of other funds. I make a motion to approve those bills as presented.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Mayor Masser?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. The monster in the room. Item 7C, discussion or approval of home rule sales tax ordinance. We had a public hearing this evening. Council, we've done as much preparation. We know what lays ahead. This is not meant to be a scare tactic. It's 100% just the God's honest truth. if we don't go this route, I don't know what route we go.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
You know me.
Mhm.
I don't vote for no raises in water, sewer, and taxes. I vote no.
I know, and I think you're gonna vote no on 7D when we get to it.
I've seen our fire department struggle with water. I've seen them beg for water. And people don't know we lost all that water in our
2 million
yeah,
gallons.
2 million debt, yeah. I'm a no vote, but let me tell you, I'm voting yes on this tonight. We definitely gotta have it.
We gotta have it.
We
And
gotta
again,
have it.
this is going to be restricted towards infrastructure for water, sewer, and streets. And the street side is streets and sidewalks. It is restricted directly towards infrastructure. It will go into effect January 1st of 2026. I have updated the fact sheet that we put out yesterday with more questions and more answers. And I'm going to go back through our forum last night and take some more questions and put it out there. We have plenty of notice. The hope is that the county's tax expires at the same time this goes on the books. It might be 1 or 2 months that the county's tax doesn't expire, but the one thing that we have to look at, guys, is the courthouse that belongs to the county was essentially bought with pre-COVID dollars. It was built with pre-COVID dollars. And it's being paid for with post-COVID monies. And it's being paid off how much earlier than anticipated?
Well, there were several different scenarios on that. What happened was the revenue that came in from the tax ended up being more than they projected was going to be generated because of COVID and inflation and other reasons. So the time frame has been sped up to next year for the potential payoff. Now, I don't know if that's going to be early in the year. The last I knew, we were looking at later next year, but you may be right, because I haven't spoken with anybody on that in a while. And we get a monthly report on revenues and what's coming in, and that's been a month ago. So that's the best update I can give you on that.
I mean, it's the fact that, you guys are going to pay that thing off considerably earlier than you were
Yes.
planning on. Probably around 50% quicker than,
It's a
give or take.
7 years. Yeah, it's 7 years is what
Yeah,
it's going to end up being.
Thing about this, it wouldn't matter if it's dropping or not, we still gotta have.
We still have to have it.
infrastructure.
We still have to have it.
It doesn't matter if, what happens.
Yep.
When we open a hydrant and 3 blocks away, it goes up through the ground. It doesn't matter, we
Look at how many-
gotta have
Look
it.
at how many breaks we had when Carl's caught fire in 2023.
Yeah,
And the nearest water was our water. And
can't
we had
get
so
water.
many water line breaks after that. It was a very large fire.
So a couple of years ago, we had a detached garage burned down about a block from us. That same day,
Yeah.
it popped up, shot out of the ground, in the same day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's gonna continue to
you
happen.
can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
We have to address this. And I feel like I've answered as many questions as I can, and I said last night, and I say it again, I'll answer questions so I can't speak anymore. But I think the council understands that the can has been kicked down the road enough. We install this tax, we begin to engineer and price projects, put them in the pipeline, and begin to shop for financing.
Make the motion.
So I make a motion.
But before you make a
Yes, sir.
motion, you can comment about restrictions. You can restrict the ordinance, as you have done years ago with the Civic Center, or you can simply do the ordinance to allow the 1%, and then you can put the money in the restricted fund, so that councils, maybe 10 councils from now, may have an issue come up that restricted funds may move from 1% to 0.5%, to whatever it may be. You may make it higher, take a portion of what you already had in your 1%. You may make it 1.5%, 20 years, not you folks, but folks 20 years from now. So the only thing that I would ask is I need direction. If you are going to have the ordinance read that it's restricted strictly for infrastructure, or are you gonna do 1% and then have a restricted account that money's placed in for infrastructure? That's very, very important. It's obviously easier down down the road to change a restricted account than it is if there's a specific allocation mentioned in a new tax order.
My preference for the ordinance restricted as it comes in. And if the council chooses down the road to terminate that ordinance, they do it. But as it comes in, as it's written, it's going to be restricted directly towards infrastructure projects, which would in turn be paying the financing, paying the loan back out of that fund. So my motion is to establish a home rule sales tax of 1% restricted towards infrastructure, defined as water lines, water system maintenance, sewer system maintenance, and street maintenance.
Then street, sidewalk,
Streets,
bridges.
sidewalk, bridges.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Cochran,
Yes.
Commissioner Story, Commissioner Garvelia,
Yes.
Commissioner Case,
Yes,
Mayor Masser.
Yes.
council, thank you. And I know there's been a lot of legwork in this, and
I'd like to thank you for all you've done. You went beyond the call of duty.
we all pay it, and the nice thing about
You
the
went
tax
beyond the
bill,
call of duty.
the nice thing about this tax pool is at least people who shop in our community, from outside of our community, contribute to our infrastructure now, and we don't put it on the backs of the property owners or an astronomical water rate increase. So, thank you for that. Item 7D is the ordinance 2506, which is it's essentially a new water bill ordinance. And let me grab my notes from the last meetings so I can give you accurate data if I still have it. Hope I do. But this is our water rate ordinance for the upcoming year. Yes, we have just installed a sales tax for the infrastructure projects that we need to do. However, we still have rising costs, and until we begin to actually plan those projects out, we still have system issues that require attention and will require the raising of water rates. We had talked about this previously, but this is the ordinance to finalize.
Isn't Red Lake raising their rates too?
This is in keeping with what Red Lake's
A
done.
lot to keep up with them.
Yes, and again, our system maintenance, just because, and even if our rate from intercity doesn't go up, our cost to maintain our system still goes up. I mean, our public works guys still get paid, they get a raise, and this outlines a 2% raise in the water rates. The trash went in with that resolution.
The city of Benton has absorbed a lot of the rates by our supplier.
I would say that we have absolutely taken it on the chin when it comes to our sewer rates, because I bet our sewer rates are probably substantially lower.
Well, Red Lake used to raise their rates every 5 years.
Yes.
Then they got 3, then they got 2. Then they're raising as they need them. So, I mean, they're allowed to raise them again.
Right.
I mean, you know.
I believe that intercity water is not raising their rate for this coming year.
Good.
Which is why we talked about it again. I think we talked about this in April or May. And we had settled on a 2% raise. I had given everyone an outline of 0 through 5. We settled on 2, which is lower than the wage increase that our water and sewer guys get. And it's still not enough to keep up with our infrastructure issues. But it helps bridge that gap in that water and sewer revenue fund that has to be self-sufficient. So, I have in front of you 2506, which is the ordinance to increase water rates by 2%. Of course, it will be much like last year, where it will be rounded to a flat number. I forget what our minimum bill will now be. I don't have to, hold on, because I created a chart, and I'm gonna tell you guys a chart. Now, not that one, Commissioner, because that's the ordinance, but I created a rate document, and I just cannot remember, where I placed it. Okay, here we go. The new minimum bill with a 2% rate, which is what you guys have in front of you, with water, sewer, trash, and the surcharge will be $60.35. So the minimum bill will increase, roughly, what, $1.35, I think the minimum bill is currently 59. So, that's what we have in front of us. The senior new minimum bill will be $58.25. So I make a motion to approve ordinance 2506.
I'll second.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
No.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Case? Mayor Moses?
Yes. I do backtrack on one question.
Yes, sir.
On the payroll, it's something up here at the top, so we address this.
Do, the cash, was the cash out?
Was that included
Was
in the
it
bills?
included in there, or-
The sellback of vacation time was, it included.
In the bill total?
In the
Payroll
payroll.
total.
Or, sorry, payroll, yeah. Oh, it was, okay.
I think.
If it was called out, that's the only reason I brought it up.
Yeah, I thought.
If it was included in there, it's good.
Yeah, because it's, yeah, as you can see, it's paid out PTO in the regular, for office credit. So it's paid out in PTO,
Did I
so
miss something?
it was included there, Bill, but thanks for asking for clarification.
Good deal.
So, that's all I've got, guys. I will stop.
Alright, city attorney, any updates? I know we've got a number of things tonight with Mr. Cacatera. Let's kind of quickly move into those. I have no purchase orders. On 9C, one of the things that we put on here, and thanks to Mr. Story for saying, hey, should we vote on that? He's absolutely correct. We did the rodeo this year. Actually, we did 2 rodeos this year. We tried to do one, it didn't work. We did the second one, it actually went very, very well. We realized the time of year was a really hindrance to us, so we talked with the rodeo company, Whippoorwill, and we said, hey, what about July? There was a growing desire to see it happen around July 4th, beginning to provide something for our community again, which also potentially brings back the return of the fireworks being done at the Benton Airport. They even said, hey, if you're gonna do one day, let's do 2. So now we're talking about 2 dates, July 3rd, July 4th, with fireworks both night and a concert on one of those. That's the conversation. And in order to lock in Whippoorwill Rodeo, they need us to sign on the dotted line that we're willing to do that. That is a peak time for them. So the reason that the 2 nights is it actually helps save us money over the 2 nights, and it draws more people. They're already at the lake, they're already in the area, so it helps us capture those folks. So we just need a motion and approval to be able to move forward with that and make sure we lock that in, because like I said, thank you.
I'll make the motion that we approve the Ranger Rodeo for, you said 3rd and 4th of July, is that right?
Correct.
3rd and 4th of July, 26th.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia? Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Mayor Moses?
Yes. All right, awesome. Looking at 9E, you ladies have been patient all night. Thank you for doing that. We have some representatives from the Veterinary Volunteer, and they're here this evening to ask and discuss what they're coming up with their back-to-school block party, which is a highlight of every year. Would 1 or 2 of you like to share kind of what to expect? And I know that there's a request that's coming with it, so we're here tonight to hear that and make a decision on it. If you could, please. You'll be, trust us. You know what you're talking about, it'll be great.
You'll do good, Vic.
This is fastly becoming one of the most fun events of the year. For kids.
I'm the vice president of the Veterinary Volunteers, and every year we put on a back-to-school block party. And this year we're asking if you guys could help fund it this year. And, we had games, dunking booth, inflatables, free food. We had a guy we hired to do the magical twist balloons, and and we give out school supplies, and we give out free food, hot dogs, chips, and water. And this year, our prices are pretty low, we would like to ask if you could help fund it this year.
Sure.
And I'm the treasurer, I'm Judy, some of you know me. Anyway, we usually fundraise ourselves, and we did that a couple of years ago, so we are a little bit lower on funds. We haven't fundraised, and you know, it seems like we ask the same businesses and groups for money all the time, and
It's getting harder every year.
it is, and you know, there's always somebody needing help with, you know, whether it's sports or any kind of event, and we really want to make this an annual event, a fun event for parents and their kids, and we give away free haircuts from some of the businesses do that, and like I said, we have an RZ Tactical that we're hoping to bring an arcade here, and it's got jelly, well, not jelly roll.
I call it jelly roll.
Last year, she was trying to tell people jelly roll was gonna be here, and I said, no.
Wow.
I know,
Wait till that gets out.
When he doesn't show up, we're in trouble.
So did you say Jelly Roll's gonna be here this year?
No.
I know, that's what I said.
If he comes, he's funding it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and like I said, we've always tried to do it ourselves, this year we need a little bit of help.
Sure.
And, so we were asking if you could help us with anything that you could. We don't have an amount in mind. I don't know if we should have done that, but,
But she's got it itemized what we spent last year.
yeah, well, yeah. I do have an itemized, list of, we spent about $3,200, last year, and this year it's about 35 is what we've estimated that we're gonna sell this year, or spend this year. And, yes, we would like to have this as an annual event. The Benton Police and Fire also participate with us, and we shut down that street right there, and it's just really a fun event.
We had vendors coming in, we had, it's getting bigger every year.
It is, and yeah, I was gonna say, it's growing every year, there's more and more stuff on the street.
And we got to think it's gonna be bigger this year, but we just didn't. We should fundraise our
I was gonna say, I see our commissioner looking through the community events line item right now.
One would think that I would know where this regularly is parked in my items.
And this is just what I
Is this
like.
what
I was gonna say, there's a big stack of them sitting back there.
It's in 43, it's not community investment. Wait, what'd you say, Brooke, where's that? 43? I don't have 43 in my book. I guess that's bad on me. I thought it was part of the telecom. Community investment, but, well, it would be. Yeah, there it is, yeah, it's just, we have it coming out of telecom, which is where I have that, I think. City services. I don't think that we've done anything with any of those funds this fiscal year. I don't think that we've done anything on that.
This is our first request for 25-26.
It is, so I don't think that we, I don't have an issue giving anything to them.
Can we give them $3,500? Do we have other requests coming in?
We will get other requests, and the one thing that we are pretty adamant about is when it's tapped, it's tapped. Commissioner Garavoy, do you happen to know what we gave? We've given money the last couple of years, haven't we, on this one? What have we given?
Not on this one.
Not on this one.
Passion Action came and asked for some.
Not on this one.
Not on this event.
We've never asked for it.
Okay, okay.
This is our
I was gonna
first
say, we did
time.
500, on others we did 500, is what we've done. But then, when the Edge students came and asked for fundraising, I think the city gave $750 to them.
I think
So
we
it's
did.
between $750 and $500 is what we've generally done out of that account.
I think it would be appropriate to give either amount. I mean, what is the council, before we put it into a motion and bring it to a vote, I hate to motion 500 and it get shot down, like, we want to help them, I mean.
How much have we got in there, Chris?
5.
5,000.
That's for the year.
And that's gotta last us.
I would prefer that it lasts, because we will have other organizations that will come to us and looking for some funding.
About 1,000.
I really like the 750 number, but
That's what you.
and again, here's the thing. This isn't the only event that you guys put on either.
I'll make a motion to give them $750.
So
I'll second.
That will not cover our, if we can cut